Okay, once again, 2011 Kia Soul, 77,000 miles on it, first brake job. It's got pads in the front and the back, and what I found from experience is the pads all the way around wore evenly, and I lost probably 3/8 of an inch. And so I'm going to change these out. There's a squeak pad on these generally that allow you to hear when it's worn down or just touching. I look at the inside and I don't see any grooves in it, so I know that the squeak pad is not hit yet. I relieved the front pressure a little bit, so I've got it off the ground so I can relieve the pressure on the nuts. 21-inch wrench socket is what I'm using with a breaker bar. It's easier to break them free. I've got one key on here that also is for safety or security prevention. That's all broke free now. So what I'm going to do is jack up the front enough to get my bracket in place for safety. So I'm free and clear, but I'll make sure I'm high enough so I can set on the frame. So now I'm free and clear. What I'll do next is take and use the air ratchet. You can use it normally by hand. I just use this. It's much faster. Make sure you're counterclockwise. Take the nuts off. You're going to need the key to get the safety security one off. Make sure it's seated. And that's it. You have to bump it slightly because they're a pretty snug fit. Take your wheel off. Have it clear. Looking in here now, and I see this pad is pretty worn, but it's not got any rough gouges or anything on the inside. They look like nice for you can turn these down or have these turned down, but I don't see a need right now that I need to do that. So what I'll do is I'll take and get a 14mm socket, pop the two inside shoulder bolts that hold the caliper on, and there's a little pressure on them. But once you get these off, they screw out. They're galvanized type metal, so I don't use anti-seize typically. There's none on here. The galvanized actually is kind of a anti-seize itself. Now this caliper will pull it straight out and off. Make sure you seat it. There's a piston in there. It won't fall out. It's inside that seal. What I'll do is take this cover off. The cover I'm going to take and I'm going to put right on the other one I just took off, or the other one I'm putting on. And this is just a cover to prevent any kind of wear on the new pads on the inside. So it snaps right in place. I'll set those down. Now what I have to do is typically I'll pry these out slightly. Take the bottoms out first, and what you see is there's about a 1/4 inch. Still some pad left for 77,000 miles. That seems really, really good. I'm going to take the new one, push it up in the front first, and then pop it in place. It's as simple as that. The back bottom one, I'll take that off. Bottom comes out, top comes out as well. You got the squeak pad on here. It was just barely touching, so I thought I heard something. And I see that I've got probably a 1/4 inch left, so they're perfect for having to change those right now. Now what I'm going to do, just so I can see up under there, I'm going to get a flashlight and take a look at underneath. This is why you put a stand underneath so it doesn't fall on you. Now with this in place, I'm going to look, try to insert this first. And that's it. Snapped right in place. So I got that in place. Now what you want to do is take and relieve this piston. So you can turn it, don't twist it too much, because you don't want to break that line, that hydraulic line that goes to it. So I'm going to get inside here, relieve this piston from the inside, and get it so it's lined up outside, and put some pressure against it. You start to squeeze it, you'll see the piston move in. It's moving in, nice and slow. Don't pinch the seal or anything. Get it in, nice and slow. It's going to relieve itself. Alright, you're going to seat out, so once you relieve that pressure, that piston's going to stay in place. It won't drift. It's important because you got to fit that back on the new pads, which is wider than the old pads. Put that down in place, rotate your caliper in place, line it up, and take your shoulder bolts, put them back in and locate them by hand. Don't put a wrench on them until you get them all the way in, because you'll cross the threads. Same one at the bottom, line it up, you can feel it where it is. They're both lined up. They're both finger tight. Now I take my 14mm socket. Go ahead and tighten them both down, both bottom and top. That's the only thing that holds your brake pads in place. No pinches. I don't see anything leaking, which is good, because you don't want any broken lines or anything. Make sure everything's free and clear. So, those are nice in place. The other ones, like I said, they're worn down a little bit. Squeak pad didn't quite hit yet, but I noticed I've got a lot of wear for 77,000 miles. That's excellent. Now what I'll do is I'll take the tire, put the tire back on in place. Make sure you align it. Maybe I drifted a little bit. Okay, get in place. Good. Start anyone, doesn't matter. I'll put the key on. Make sure your fingers start them. You don't want to cross them if you use a ratchet, air ratchet, or a torque gun. Because once you do that, you're done. It's hard to repair them. So, taking these, finger tighten all of them. That's nice, good snug in place. So I do that so I seat them properly, because one could be off slightly. Now go back counterclockwise. Set your key in place, torque that down. Now what I can do is take my stand out, safety stand. I can relieve the pressure. I'll leave that in place. Take my socket back off. Pull them up. Opposite and opposing. So I torque them even. Then I'll get my key. Make sure that's in place. And I'll torque that down. And that's it. And then what I'll do is I'll start it up, see if I got any air in the system, and then go ahead and bleed them.